I'm gonna give you my best Nick Saban story right here, right now. It literally just popped in my head as we were sitting here, and you asked me because I tell people this story all the time. It's not funny, it's not a joke. Like this is what Nick Saban is about. So, my senior year, we played Tennessee on the road. Right now, the only time in my 4 years at Alabama that I was ever late to anything was before this Tennessee game on the Friday before. We do our meetings, we go through a little walkthrough. Then we get on the plane, we fly out to wherever we're going to go. Now, that Friday morning meeting, I was late. Ended up late, overslept, and I showed up, right? And I kind of snuck in, and I had told some people, like, yo, hey, I'm late. Like, I'm going to be late. I apologize. Like, what's the best way to walk in the room? Because the number one thing you don't do is walk into a Nick Saban meeting late. So they told me, they were like, listen, just come in, just lay low. We'll figure it out from there. So I'm like, okay. So the rest of that day, me and Coach Saban never talked. We never spoke. And so I'm like, okay, this is weird. Then you get to Saturday, and right before we're about to go out for warm-ups and stuff, Coach Saban comes up to me, and he talks to me, and he's like, Damien, I know you were late yesterday. And he was like, because of that, we're going to have to go with the other guy, which was Josh Jacobs. Not a bad option at all. He's like, we're going to have to play the other guy today. Your job is to just be a cheerleader, basically. And I said, okay. And he told me, he started to walk away, and then he turned around and he looked at me. He was like, I want you to understand, this isn't because you were late. This isn't because, you made a mistake. It was because you didn't come talk to me about it. Because you didn't take ownership of your mistake. Because you didn't have the self-accountability to come look me in the face and tell me, hey, coach, I was late. As somebody who, ended up being a permanent captain. I got my footprint at Denny Chimes. And he was like, being that guy and not coming to talk to me about that, he was like, I felt like that was a lack of accountability. And because of that, I feel like you should be punished. Not because you made a mistake, but because you just didn't have any accountability and you didn't own up to it. And I was just like, that was like one of the most powerful moments to me, because that was when I started to realize truly, because, coaches always talk about, these are life lessons. These aren't football lessons. Like, you hear that, in Little League. You hear that in middle school, high school, etc. That was the first time in my life that I felt like I was learning a life lesson through football. And that's when I realized football is, for as much hype as we give this game, it's a vehicle to teach us how to live our lives a certain way, how to have a certain level of discipline, how to have a certain level of respect, detail orientation that will benefit us long after we're done playing football. And that for me was it was an aha moment for me.
That's awesome. I mean, something you can tell your grandkids kind of
Yeah.
someday of like, hey,
Yeah.
here's why accountability is important. But
Yeah, absolutely. I got a 1-year-old son and another one on the way, and I tell people all the time, like, there's so many. I can go through almost any Nick Saban speech. I can pull one up on YouTube where he's talking about football or talking about this team or whatever, and I can tell you exactly how that applies to me in daily life right now, as a husband, as a father, as a member of the media, as a member of society. Like, I can draw from any single one, and you're like, okay, he's talking about football right here, and I'm like, no, he's not. This is what he's talking about. Like, obviously, we're talking ball because that's the sport we all know and love, but again, it ends for all of us. So we have to take what we learn from this wonderful game that we love so much and then apply that for the next, hopefully 60, 70 years of our lives.